Welcome back. A simple but very critical change in our military policy is saving American lives on the battlefield. That change might have saved precious lives on August 6, 2011, when the chopper Extortion 17 was shot down during a firefight in Afghanistan, killing all 38 aboard. It was the single largest loss of American life in the history of the Navy SEALs. The dead included SEAL Team 6 member Aaron Vaughn, and his parents, Karen and Billy Vaughn, believe the military's restrictive rules of engagement under President Obama contributed to that travesty. They fought hard to see those rules change, and now that President Trump has done that, they believe those changes are saving lives. And Billy Vaughn joins us now. So, Billy, your story of your son is powerful. He's an American warrior, fought for our country, and from the very beginning, you and Karen have been dedicated to making sure what happened there in that valley in Afghanistan doesn't happen again. How critical have changes in the rules of engagement been to unleashing our military?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me tonight, Pete. And yes, absolutely. After Aaron was killed, and Karen and I began to find out things. And by the way, you know us. We're not military experts. We're parents who love our son and love our country and our military. Mm-hmm. And after we began to find out things that happened that night, things that should have happened that didn't happen, we do believe there are many things that happened that night. If even just one of them hadn't happened, Aaron and those men may be alive today. And, President Trump promised he would change the rules of engagement. Karen actually spoke at the RNC convention for President Trump and talked about the rules of engagement needing to be changed. And both of us talked across the country about that. And we were able to meet with then candidate Trump and with other Gold Star families. And Pete, you know this. We've got the most powerful, the most efficient military the world has ever seen. Our warfighters can go out and crush the enemy every single night. Yeah. If they're allowed to do, if they're unleashed to do what they are trained to do. And under President Obama, that just didn't happen.
If they are allowed. Now, you caveated yourself saying you're not a military expert. I get that. But that almost allows you to bring more common sense to the discussion and certainly investment with your son. A lot of people who haven't been in the military, they'd say, what are these rules of engagement? What is the rationale for putting political constraints on warriors on the battlefield as opposed to unleashing them, especially against a threat like ISIS?
Well, okay, let me give you a for instance. On the night that Aaron was killed, there was no pre-assault fire before the helicopter went in. And that's one that you don't have to be a military expert to know.
Prepping
Anybody
the target,
sitting at
absolutely.
home watching. Yes, sir. And that wasn't just an isolated incident. The helicopter pilots, when they were giving testimony, both of them. One of them said there's a 1 in a million chance we can get pre-assault fire approved. The other one said we never ask for it because it's never approved anymore. In two different testimonies at two different times, and that could have saved the warfighters that night. Also that night, the AC-130 overhead asking to engage multiple times enemy combatants on the ground was not allowed to engage those enemy combatants with weapons. And it's very likely that one of those enemy combatants took that chopper down that night. President Trump in August said that he was going to give more authority to the warfighters on the ground, to those people. And under President Obama, a lot of that authority, as you made an earlier comment tonight, was being done by people back in Washington, D.C., inside the White House, who had never seen the theater of war, who had never been in the battlefield at night with their buddies with bullets whizzing by their head.
That makes all the difference. Billy Vaughn and Karen Vaughn, thank you for everything you've done for the warfighter, for your son's sacrifice. And there are 70,000 dead ISIS fighters in the last year and a half that are a credit to the unleashing we have done for our military. Billy Vaughn,
yes, sir. You can see what our military can do.